In this episode we show you how you go from a plain old boring garage to the ultimate home gym, like this. So first I just went around with this blade and just kind of cleaned up all the holes and everything. Just got rid of all the dags and everything off them. And Aaron's going around and patching all the holes with a putty. And you gotta wait like 24 hours before you can paint. I'm going to give us a hand to clean the walls, mate. So this is a fun part, which some people would probably say is the least fun part. Yeah, we'll bring the ladder back out to do the top of the walls.
You can do the bottom.
You can do the bottom. See the bottom bits, mate? You can do right along the bottom. See how it's all dirty down there? You do all these bits along the bottom, okay? Easy bits for you to reach. Get some water in there.
That's too low, I can't.
Painting. Aaron's just masking the walls up here. Go around and mask all the walls. So you're going to do this one big wall here first. So we've gone with like a really dark, like monument colour, same as that door there. Just to give it that like, you know, dramatic look, rather than just a real white walls. So I started taping this, got all the way, got that far down the wall, and then accidentally like dropped the tape and it peeled back a bit. And you can see there, I'll zoom in, it's actually started peeling the paint off the walls. That's not going to be a good option. So I think we're going to have to manually just be tight. Like try and be nice and neat with the paintbrush. So usually when I do some painting, I wrap some tape around the roller and pull it off. It kind of gets all really loose hairs off it. So and with so many loose hairs stuck in your paint, roll it up. Get a dunk it right in.
I did.
Yeah, and then just roll it up until it covers the whole roller. Yeah, you're right. Just start painting. Just try not to drip anything on the floor. It's going to be nice and dark.
Yeah, I hope you don't regret it.
Yeah. Hope it's not too dark.
This one, so I want to do this
I reckon it should be pretty cool. I reckon I can do at least 2 walls. At least these 2 walls anyway. So that's one more done. Just finished 2 coats. It's come up pretty good as far as the middle coating areas, and I think I did a fairly good job of cutting in up the top there. It's not perfect, but I'm not a professional painter, so it's not going to be perfect. Down the bottom here, where we actually had the tape, when I started peeling it up, it kind of had a bit of bleeding under it, so it actually looks worse than the top area there, where I didn't actually tape it. You can see it's kind of like a bit of bleeding under the tape and stuff, so it's not great. I'll have to just try and clean that up as best as I can, and maybe go along and tidy this up with a really small paintbrush. So for the flooring, I'm going with the epoxy flake floor. So obviously we just got the old boring concrete here, so I've got to grind the whole thing back with a 9-inch grinder and a cup diamond blade. So if you don't want to use a grinder and vacuum, you can also use acid etch. So it's basically an acid you pour on the slab, mix it in with a stiff broom, and it also gives it a nice etch as well for you. Grinding done. So you can see how it basically just opens up most of the surface of the slab, gets rid of any paint or anything like that, any other impurities, and just kind of keys the surface a bit. Now I've got to go around and where all these cracks are. I've got some of this wide crack filler, Sicko, so I'll put some of that in there, and then sand it back again with the grinder. And we should be good to go for painting. Okay, so now I've gone around and taped all these edges with some 30-day tape to make sure we get some nice clean lines around the edges here. And also it's important to use some good quality tape that's not going to peel the paint off like I had up there. But because it's gloss around these skirting boards, it shouldn't really peel it off, it should be okay. So when you're mixing 2-part epoxy, you need to have like 2 separate amounts of liquid usually. So to split up the pack, I usually put some tape on the side of one of those cheap buckets, 9-litre buckets, on the measurements on it, and then you can easily see where you need to pour to, because otherwise it can be hard to see it. So that's it, epoxy done. If you're doing an area this size, I'd recommend having 2 people, because when you're mixing epoxy, it can go off quite fast. So it might be like 20 to 40 minutes and it'll go off. And you kind of want to get it on the ground quickly. So that's why I pour it out in the ground and roll it, because that helps to stop so much heat generating when there's a big volume of it in the bucket. So it actually slows it down a bit going off. All right, so this is the results after the first coat. So the first coat had solvent in it, which helps to like soak into the slab a bit. So you'll see there's patches on here that kind of look like a bit not really covered. So this morning we're doing the flake coat. So we've got to basically paint a section of it, throw some flake onto it while the paint is still wet, and then paint another section, more flake, another section, more flake. So basically cover the whole surface with like paint chips that are like these really small paint chips. And then once that's dry the next day, we can come back again, clean it up and put top coat on it. So I've got these spike shoes. So basically strap these onto my shoes, and that means once we've painted a section, I can walk around top of that without getting like big footprints in it and throw the flakes on. So once your flake coat has dried, you need to come back with a broom and give it a really good sweep, because there'll be a lot of flake that hasn't stuck, because only the top layer of flake will stick. So after you've given it a very good broom, I recommend a better broom than I use. That's a crappy little broom I had, that's just one I had lying around. And then you need to come back and give it a sand. So give it a really good sand, because that gets rid of any like sharp bits of flake on top, and any loose bits. After that, you can give it a really good vacuum, and then come through and put your 2 clear coats on top. So also they give it a really nice gloss look and keep it protected from stains, everything like that. As you can see, it comes up very nice, so much better than just a crappy old boring plain concrete slab. So we're getting pretty close to the completion here, putting our nice rubber flooring in. Definitely recommend some good quality rubber flooring. It makes the gym much nicer, because when you drop your weights it doesn't make such a loud bang, and also it protects the floor from getting chipped, especially if you've got a nice painted floor, you don't want to chip that up. So the rubber flooring can be quite expensive. It's about $50 a square meter for like a fairly cheap rubber. So what I did was went on Facebook Marketplace and had a good look around. I found some really good deals and got all my flooring and equipment for like a really cheap price. So it saved me probably about $4,000 from buying new. So now that all the rubber flooring is down, we're on to the last step, which was installing all the equipment and weights. Good job there, mate. Bringing the clean.
Good job.
Here you go. That young fella comes up and starts cleaning without even being asked. So if you made it this far for the video, thanks for watching. I'm very happy with the results, especially considering we did the whole thing for under $4,000. Now I've just got to get the motivation to use it every day. Cheers guys, bye.